We are at the last question of the evening. I'm sure everybody's excited to finish this debate. The last question of the evening, we will begin with Lorenzo and work our way down to the end. This is to a community-based question. The road network in most communities in Vaughan are designed with multiple north-south and east-west roads to allow traffic to move freely and easily through them. The exception to that norm is the road network in the Weston Downs community. There is only one road that connects the north end of the community with the south. This creates significant traffic and safety issues for the entire community, but with significant impact to the residents that live on that one street. The Weston Downs Ratepayer Association had originally presented a solution that included a residence permit. The Weston Downs Ratepayer Association and the region appear to have different legal perspectives as to whether a permit would be enforceable. If you are elected, would you support the Weston Downs Ratepayer Association at the regional level in making a residential permit a success?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had countless meetings. I think Mr. Francescuti can attest. We had site meetings, we had meetings at the city with engineering staff, we had meetings here in Weston Down areas, and trying to arrive at a solution. What we have achieved to date, after many discussions and many ideas put forth, was no local traffic only. You see those signs being implemented right now at the entrance to the Weston Down subdivision. Another suggestion that's come up is no through traffic. We can put those signs. Mr. Costa and Nelson Costa from the region has agreed that yes, we can do that if the community and if the Ratepayers Association agrees. Perhaps that will will stop some of the traffic going through. That's another example. Residential permit. Do you, as residents of Weston Downs, do you want a residential permit when you come in your subdivisions? If it's acceptable to all of you, I'm sure we can implement it. But that's going to have to be your decision rather than council decision. What is that you want in your community? And that's what we'll try. At least that's what I will try to achieve. Your recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. As the theme for the evening being traffic congestions and issues related to that, certainly the traffic infiltration is very much part of that. And while I was on council, there were a number of communities that were faced with the situation, and we spent time dealing with that. With respect to turning prohibitions, those can be done, and certainly I would support that. No through traffic, yes, that can be done too. With respect to residential permit, I do, if there is widespread community support for that, I would support that as well. But there has to be community input and there has to be discussion to ensure that whatever we decide is in keeping with the expectation of the community, because what we don't want to do is put something in place and then having to change it because the other residents don't agree with it. Thank you.
I'm going to be brief again because there's even less people here now. First of all, there should be local traffic only, but it has to be enforced. Just throwing up a sign at the end of the road does absolutely nothing to resolve the problem. And I know the street that you're referring to, and my concern, but actually it's been a concern in the past for me because I was the chair of the next school over, the chair of the parent council, and traffic was very, very much an issue at the time because of the safety of our children and safety of our seniors. And since then, which was a long time ago, because my children are mostly grown up now, the traffic still has not been resolved in this area. This has been a problem for more than 15 years. Exactly the same problem, year after year after year. So what the solution is ultimately is to stop the infiltration of traffic onto the city streets. That's what the real problem is. And I draw a comparison to Allen Road and Eglinton and Bathurst. Now that's a whole similar set of problems with an even larger volume of cut-through traffic. I think the solution is out there, but it's about time that this traffic problem, in particular in that area, is taken seriously.
Thank you, Ms. Liddy. Richard Lorello.
This is again a great question, and I think what you'll like about me is that I'm not afraid to try things. I'm not afraid to innovate. Because something like this, I would say, let's try it. Why don't we try it? Why don't we try it for 6 months? Let's assess it. Let's try it for 3 months. Then let's all get the input. Part of innovation is failure. If it doesn't work, we try something else. And this is my background. I come from a background where you try things, if they don't work, you look for another solution, you go forward. But again, on this particular issue, as I alluded to earlier, okay, it has to be part of a comprehensive solution. Okay, looking at one road or one intersection, one street is not enough. It has to include the major arterial roads and making sure those roads are efficient. It takes the traffic off the north-south, east-west, and doesn't put them into residential areas and impact the quality of life of people. But again, I like pilot projects, and that's what they're about. You try things. And that's what I think you'll like about me, is that I am not afraid. I will not back down from a try. Thank you.
Thank you. The question was, will you support giving residents permits? And we have dealt with this question underneath, and our legal department, as well as the police, clearly said, non-enforceable roads are public highways under the Highway Traffic Act. Okay? Not that. But if you have a legal opinion, give us a written opinion, we'll review it. I'm willing to bring it back to our solicitors for another look. And I'm willing to support, yes, anything we can do. We have been trying for years, not for lack of trying. But any solution seems to have a problem somewhere else. And the community is divided. We will still work together, we will still consult and look for solutions. It may not be permanent, they may not be full solutions, but maybe partial solutions. The total prohibition certainly would work to prevent people from, say, going into Santa Barbara. But the community is divided on that issue. And that's why it's not there. So, but I will continue to work with council, with staff, with the community, and maybe somehow we'll find at least maybe some alternatives. The no-through traffic, yes, it's impossible, but you have to find a point of entry and a point of exit. And there is a lot of roads in between, and it's very problematic. But nonetheless, yes, let's try anything we can. Let's continue the dialogue for as long as it takes.
Thank you, Mr. Lombardi.
This has been an incredibly difficult issue for the community, and I've had the pleasure of working with many people in the community on this issue. We have come up with some ideas. The community's come up with ideas. Some of the community think certain ideas will work, other people in the community think other things will work. If we could have got our legal team at the region to agree to try the permit, I would be very willing to try the permit, because I, like Richard, come from a background where you try things and you see if they work. Many times they do, if they don't, you try something else. So I would have been willing to support, but I cannot go forward with something that our legal team and the police will not support. It's not going to work, and I don't want to waste or promise the residents something that isn't going to be able to be delivered. So you have come to us recently and said you would be prepared to support turning prohibitions. It is going to be painful. Not everyone in the community is going to agree, but I am willing on a pilot basis to go forward and try some turning prohibitions. The ultimate answer is the big changes that we have to do on the regional roads, regional intersections, and some of the big infrastructure to get the traffic moving around the community. But in the interim, I'm willing to work with you and try the twinning prohibitions as soon as we can. Thank you.
So this is our last 90 seconds of cross debate on this issue.
Remember, whatever measures you put in place, enforcement is not far behind. If you put up a sign, you can't turn left or you can't turn right, once in a while, you need someone there to monitor who is and who isn't turning at those intersections. So we can talk till we're blue in the face, but if we're not going to petition the police or obviously the authorities to monitor these turns, there's no use spending the taxpayer money to put the signs up in the first place.
Well, no doubt, I mean, we won't be successful without enforcement. So that's part of the picture. If we're going to do this, it's going to cost, and we're going to have to focus energy with the police in enforcing those turning prohibitions. Generally, you can do it, in a burst way, so you can get a lot of people's attention, you put them in, and you enforce them. First you educate, then you enforce, and then we have to make sure we go back on a regular basis. Or it's not going to work, you're absolutely right.
And I just want to repeat what I said before. 15 years ago, we were talking about this exact problem. Sonia was on my parent council, Nadia Magarelli, and there has been no solutions in the last 15 years. And that has got to change. We need solutions.
Honest?
No more talk,
We have
solutions.
to-
That's what we need.
Thank you, everybody. On behalf of the sponsoring organizations, I wanted to thank all the residents who came out tonight from Ward 3 and others who were here from other wards as well. I also wanted to take the opportunity on behalf of the sponsoring organizations to thank all the candidates who took the time to come out tonight to support our event and to share with the audience their opinions. And once again, if I could leave you with one message, get out on October 27th and make your vote count. Thank you.